Hey everyone, it's Elwirfy again. Firstly, I want to say thank you to everyone who watched the video that we're talking about today, the unbearable pain, Twitch negligence about the spinal fusion stuff. People seem to really like that video, I guess, or at least felt really connected to it. And I recently got a comment literally 7 hours ago because I wanted to make a full video to reply to this comment because I didn't want to just leave some sort of generic answer. Well, I mean, not that I try and make generic answers, but just that I feel like this particular comment needed an in-depth discussion over. And I'm going to try and keep composure, as we try and go through this. And I try and just give my thoughts on it, I guess, because I thought it was important to talk about. So first off, before we even get into the actual comment, I'm just going to say straight away, I'm not in any way claiming to have any knowledge about this commenter's experience with spinal fusions. I'm not trying to make any statements, judgments, or even any assumptions about their own situation. That's up to them, and I'm only going to base what I talk about on what they've decided to share with me. I'm not going to try and infer or presume to have knowledge that I don't have. That out of the way, let's go ahead and just get into it. So this person, Holiday Arnett, left a comment saying, the fact that you were able to speak to this topic and give us knowledgeable insight into this young girl's situation allows us to feel through your personal knowledge and experience, and your comments make this story all the more relatable. Well, firstly, to that first sentence, one, I want to say thank you. I'm glad that I was able to, hopefully, for everyone watching, make the situation more clear, and certainly at least to be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. You'll notice, especially as the internet has grown more and more diverse in ideas and opinions and stuff, I think it's a lot harder for us to put ourselves in other people's situations just because of our lack of experience with different situations. As we have so much variety of things going on all the time, it can be hard sometimes to judge the level of severity. So like, as if you hear just someone say, oh, she had to get a spinal fusion on the internet, you won't necessarily think that that's something that maybe is severe. Obviously, again, that's why I made the video, to try and note the severity of that kind of a procedure, as well as also make everyone else aware of the fact that this isn't a life-altering thing that has happened. So, firstly, I'm glad that for you, Holiday Arnett, that you felt connected to it, and hopefully, that's okay. So the next sentence, my mother was hit by a drunk driver and her spine was shattered. That sentence on its own, I'm just going to go to the next one real quick. This was in the 70s, so you can imagine that technology was not great and a lot of mistakes were made. I don't really know much about medicine in the 70s. I was born in 1997, so again, I don't feel it's my job to comment on the specific medical techniques that may or may not have been used to help your grandmother. Hopefully, the surgery went well for the technology they had at the time. I'm sure whatever she was going through was far worse than anything I'd been through. Because, again, the technology and the scientific knowledge base as a whole probably wasn't where it was when I had my spinal fusion, which I had mine when I was 14 years old. So if I was born in 97, we were in the middle of the 2000s. So that's about almost a 40-year difference of technology and knowledge. So, again, I'm not going to comment or relate to that in particular, unless we're just talking about the type of pain that she may or may not have endured. Hopefully, whatever she experienced was less than what I experienced, but because for my spinal fusion, I had to have bones L4 to T4, or maybe it's T4 to L4 fused. So that means that from the fourth bone down to the fourth bone up, it's completely solid metal now. I don't know to what extent this spinal fusion would have been through for her, but I hope it wasn't as severe as mine. I really do hope that. Moving on, she spent the rest of her life in braces and in pain. So something important to note, again, from my experience, again, not about your situation. I don't know. Again, not trying to make any assumptions here. But the reason why I wore a back brace when I was younger is because didn't have a spinal fusion. Because I developed scoliosis due to having one of my lungs removed. So, and because what happens, right, when you take a lung out, especially because mine was taken out as a baby, but as you grow, the lung that you do have, in my case, my left lung, it takes over and kind of pushes organs around, and that causes the spinal imbalance. So, and then that's why I developed scoliosis, but the scoliosis wasn't from an actual issue with the spine itself. It was more a fact, like, of a byproduct of having one lung that grew incredibly large that pushed the spine to be lopsided because all the weight was on one side of my body. So I wore a back brace to keep myself upright, to hopefully allow, as I ate food and I grew, to hopefully allow the spine to stretch out on its own. That didn't happen, and thus is why the surgery was needed in my case. Moving on. I can remember her crying in pain as you describe your medical journey, and with you sharing a portion of your story, it hit my heart. Well, I'm really glad that I was able to help you feel more connected to your grandmother. I know that when our grandparents often tell us stories about things that happen to them, it can sometimes be hard to relate or really understand what they went through, especially when you look at someone who's really old. And at least for me, if I look at my grandparents and they tell me a story about when they were young, I just in general have trouble picturing it. And I think that's just because of my age, because since I'm younger, I have trouble understanding that length of time distance between them. So I think that might be something natural for everyone. It can be hard to relate sometimes. So I'm really glad that even though it's a very upsetting story, that at the very least my story was able to help you. And for that, I am grateful that you felt comfortable to share that with me. I thought that was a really nice thing to do. Continuing on. I can see how difficult this journey has been from you. Obviously, you are a strong and caring person, or you would not have put yourself out there like you did in this video. I mean, I try and be as nice as I can. Anyone who's been watching this YouTube channel for a while knows, I'm just trying to entertain people at the end of the day. That's why I make videos. That's why I'm happy to talk to everybody about any topic that I think is important, like this one, where, I always try and say on this channel, hey, I want to build a community of people. I want people to feel open and to honestly trying to get a lot of escapism. I don't normally talk about real world things, and this just happens to be a unique situation where I feel the need to talk about it now, because if I don't, someone else in the future might try and give bad information or misinformation that makes it harder to fully understand the actual severity of what's going on. It's been a hard journey, especially when you're younger and stuff, and you're walking around with a back brace on. It can feel like you're being ostracized. I mean, I know I have friends, right? And I'm very fortunate and very grateful and lucky to have friends, some of whom I've known since preschool, who've been willing to stick with me, because I was fortunate enough to grow up with people who didn't care about my disability, or at the very least didn't find my disability to be something that gets in the way of being friends with me. I mean, obviously I became a nerd, play video games and stuff, now make videos on the internet, hoping to God that someone cares enough to eventually allow me to get paid for doing this. But I always want the channel to be about improving your lives and giving you guys a way to escape from the real world. And I'm more than happy to talk about anything that I'm able to talk about. Like I said, I would never want to give my opinion on something that I don't have any reason to. So, if there's a topic you want me to talk about, but if I can't relate to it or I can't give some sort of honest, actual value to it, I'm not going to talk about it. That's, again, why I'm making the reply to this video, because it's a comment about something that I think I could at least put my 2 cents in, even if it's kind of hard to grasp. Back to the comment. I want to say that hearing your personal perspective on this subject helped me to understand a little better of what my mom went through, and I want to thank you for that. For me, it helped a lot. So again, thank you for this video. I've been making YouTube videos for a long time. And in the entire time I've been making videos, this is probably the first comment I've ever gotten on a video that I think has at least shown to me that everything I've been doing has been worth it, I guess. Because, you put all this time and effort into wanting to make things just for fun. And it's hard, Sometimes it's just hard to motivate yourself to keep going. And, I always tell myself that I'm making videos to entertain people. And I really am. But I don't know. Most of the time, when you see a view on a YouTube video, you think, oh, did they like it? Did they not like it? Did they have a good time? Did they enjoy it? And I don't know. I didn't realize how much of an impact I could have about something like this. Because, shoot, I don't even think I'm taken seriously. Even though my family's starting to become a little more supportive of me. And, I mostly do this on my own. I've been doing this a long time. And I guess I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's been watching, who's been supporting me and really putting themselves at the forefront of any expectations I didn't have, because I don't know where I'm going with this. I guess I just need to I don't know. What more can you say, right? Besides thanking you all for being there, for just having my back and kind of showing me that it's worth it. I mean, it's a lot of time, it's my life. I've been making videos since I was 14. I'm 25 now. It's 11 years I've been doing this. Even though I don't make any money on it at all. And the reality is I don't think I probably ever will. But just knowing that I've helped someone, especially this person, to make them feel safe and comfortable and feel like they really are able to open up own experiences about their own life, to be able to bring it into their own personal headspace. I think that's something that you don't really get as much anymore on the internet. And I'm glad that I at least made a difference for at least one person. And that motivates me to keep making videos, and I hope you all enjoy. Anyway, guys, I'm Elwirfy. Please subscribe. It'd mean the world to me if we got to 1,000 subs, I guess. I don't even know anymore. But thanks. See ya.